Who's ready for chicken lasagna roll-ups? I know I certainly am. Let's get to cooking. For this particular recipe, I'm going to use chicken thighs. However, I got about 3 chicken thighs in here. These are pretty large, so they're going to definitely get the job done. You could also substitute with using chicken breast as well. We're going to hit it with a drizzle of oil. All right, let's get the oil throughout the chicken. Adding the oil is going to help with the marination process, and it's also going to allow the seasoning to spread much easily onto the chicken. All right, we're going to start off with a small pinch of salt and ground black pepper. Move the chicken around. Make sure to get the seasoning all over this chicken. I'm adding more black pepper than salt because we could always go back in later and add the salt. Now for this recipe, I'm going to add some of my all-purpose chicken seasoning. However, you can season your chicken however you choose. Also going to add some paprika. This is just regular paprika. If you want to add smoked paprika, you definitely can for a nice little smoky element of flavor. This right here is going to change the color, give it a nice tinge and color, all right, which is definitely what we're looking for. I'm going to add some garlic and herb seasoning. Cajun, because did I forget? Gonna kind of, I guess it's fair enough to say we're going to be making a Cajun style to an extent. All right, get that color. Cajun seasoning is salt free. That's why I went in with a decent amount of salt and ground black pepper. However, if your seasonings do contain a lot of salt, you want to be careful with the salt content, all right? So if anything, I would definitely add that last, or maybe just leave it out. It all depends. Make sure to massage the seasoning into the chicken really well. And that's it. We're going to go get our hot skillet ready, and we're going to brown our chicken, which should take about 5 minutes on each side. We're going to start off with a small drizzle of oil. Once that oil comes up to temperature, we're going to lay our chicken thighs flat into the pan. This looks good. You gotta admit, this right here, not to mention this chicken is cooked all the way through. Don't get me started. Anyway, my loves, to this pan right here. At this point in time, let's lower the flame to medium heat. And, or should I say low medium, all right? Because we want to have full control over our pan. To our pan, we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of butter. Give it a good stir. Add any type of garlic, doesn't matter. Once our garlic is nice and toasty, we are going to add our heavy cream. Quick, simple, and easy. Now, what we do along the way, now that's a different story. But so far, quick, simple, and easy. But of course, we're going to do some extra things that's going to boost the flavor in our lasagna dinner. Give it a good stir. As you saw, I did use heavy cream, all right? So heavy cream usually doesn't really need a lot of help to thicken up, unlike, let's say, maybe half and half. If you're going to add half and half, which is a little less thicker than heavy cream, you're going to have to add either a little bit more Parmesan cheese or a slurry, which is flour and water, all right? And those 2 elements, well, actually the flour, it would definitely thicken up your sauce. As you can see, we have a slight simmer going on, so I'm going to take this time to grate our Parmesan cheese. When making this sauce, I usually say there's so many different things you could compromise with, but when it comes to the Parmesan cheese, don't compromise with the Parmesan cheese. If you have that powdered stuff, you have no choice, then yes. But outside of that, if you could get your hands on a nice block of Parmesan cheese, please do so. Time to season. Now I'm going to add a couple of ingredients that may be a little bit new to you, but trust me when I tell you it's going to work. We're going to add some ground mustard. okay? The ground mustard is gonna create a contrast. If I get it out of the bottle and into the pan, all right? Small amount goes a far way. I'm gonna stir it on up really, really good. Make sure everything is perfectly combined. We're gonna get there with some additional garlic and herb. Give this sauce flavor. We're gonna also add some of our Cajun seasoning. This has no sodium whatsoever. So we could add as much or as little without feeling guilty. Also gonna add a little bit of all-purpose seasoning. Mix it up really good. How about we add some Rotel? Get those tomatoes in there. This is the mild Rotel. However, if you want to use the hot Rotel, you definitely can. The Rotel that I use has tomatoes and chilies because it's the mild flavor. Whereas the hot one, if I'm not mistaken, has jalapenos along with the tomatoes. And let's add some spinach. I can guarantee you this sauce is going to taste like $1,000,000 once everything is put together. Let's get our beautiful chicken into this delicious sauce. Wow. We're going to allow the flavors from the chicken to intertwine with the sauce and the sauce to intertwine with the chicken as well, okay? All of these flavors, you can't get anything other than greatness. So that's what we're gonna do. As you can see, it's not much bubble action going on because I have it on a slow simmer. I have it on a slow simmer, literally low heat. Anyway, in the meanwhile, let's check on our pasta. Add a good amount of salt because our pasta is bland and we want to infuse some flavor into our pasta. All right. So I'm gonna add about, I want to say about 6. We're gonna cook our pasta until it becomes al dente. As you can see, our pasta noodles are cooked and finished. Gonna take some of our beautiful sauce. Now this right here is messy, all right? I'm telling you, I'm just letting you know from now. But the end result is gonna be so worth it. After we add our chicken, we're gonna add some mozzarella cheese. Add as much or as little. If you wanna substitute with, let's say, maybe a different type of cheese, you definitely can rock out with your preferred cheese. Now, this part right here requires concentration. Let me stop. Anyway, I'm gonna start on this side right here. Try to keep everything together. Looking good so far, right? Boom. First one, it's finished. Yes, Lord. I'm gonna move on to the second one. All right, second one finished. This is an ASMR without an ASMR. This is not even an ASMR video, but you notice how quiet I am, right? Because I am focused, I tell you. If the filling comes out on the sides, just gently push it back inside. And just try to maintain control, right? We're in control. Not the lasagna, not the noodles, but us. All right, that is it. Woo! Let's get our casserole dish. Get some of the Alfredo sauce from the pan. Place it into your casserole dish. All right, we're gonna place our Alfredo roll-up right there. Let's add some of our Cajun Alfredo sauce on top of our lasagna. See those chunky bits of chicken, just ooh, so beautiful. We're gonna take some of our mozzarella cheese. And we're gonna add it to the top. I'm gonna add some fresh parsley. We're gonna cover it down with aluminum foil for about 15 minutes. Allow the cheese to melt while covered. Once we're done, of course, because we want those nice little brown bubbly edges, we're gonna remove the aluminum foil and allow it to remain without it for about 10 additional minutes. Once you're done, you're gonna remove it, allow it to sit out until it's cool before cutting into it. I didn't get to do a taste test this time because this was something that I was making for a family member, but nevertheless, next time I got you. We'll be doing a taste test together. Absolutely delicious. Definitely give this recipe a try. It's gonna be worth it. You're gonna impress. Trust me, when I tell you you're gonna impress who you gotta impress, they're definitely going to be impressed with this dish. As always, I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy, and I will definitely catch you guys in another video. If you need seasonings, you know where to go. cookingwithtammy.shop, link below, and I will catch you in another video.